to give us what we need. Hey!
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power. Fight the power. Fight the power.
Psst. I see dead people.
Put it on that beat, go.
Hey, monster on the beat, ho, Debo, any rap. He a freak though, man down, call her Amber Lambs, tell him breathe, bro. Nella to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these? Trying to see Compton, the industry can hate me. Fuck them all and they mama. How many options you really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body, I'm John Stockton. Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watching. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up the score with him. Walk him down whole time, I know he got some hoe on him. Pull on him, extort, bully the floor on him. Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. They tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs and party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baca got a weird case, why is he around? Certified lover boys, certified pedophiles. Wop, 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 that up. Wop, 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 wop. I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor.
Don't we love Kendrick Lamar? You know I love Kendrick Lamar. You're listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm your host and White House correspondent, Dr. Nii-Quartelai, reporting for duty. I'm in touch, and so you be in touch. Be sure to follow me on all the socials at Dr. Nii-Quartelai. Just type in Dr. Nii-Q, and there I am, fresh for you to follow. Also, make sure to subscribe to A More Perfect Union podcast. That way you'll never miss an episode. As soon as we send it out, you'll get your little push notification. That way you can stay up on all of the incredible folks out there on the front lines, shaping the culture and making a difference. All right. And so, look, the clock is ticking. And because I love you, you still have time. You still have time to participate in our KBLA Talk 1580 4th anniversary events. This is the week when it happens. All of these events are fast approaching, and seating at all 4 of our special events, it's getting tight. Just saying, it's getting tight. Have you registered at KBLA1580.com? Well, if not, this is a good time to do it. It's our 4th anniversary, and we want to celebrate it with you. And if you're planning to join us for our 4th anniversary celebration and barbecue on the Juneteenth holiday, we're asking everyone to bring a food gift card of any amount for the victims of the Altadena fire, whether it's a grocery store chain gift card, a restaurant gift card, whatever it is. We're grateful for whatever you can do to help the families that are still displaced by the wildfire. So go to our KBLA1580.com website right now. Not later, not tomorrow, do it right now to sign up for the events that you plan to attend. All of our anniversary events are free, but seating is limited. So be sure to register quick and fast. Now it's time for our national news roundup. It's time for you to decide the good, bad, and ugly headlines of the day. We were just playing some Kendrick Lamar. You know why? USA Today is reporting that Kendrick Lamar takes Not Like Us victory lap in Drake's native Toronto. That's right. Toronto may be Drake's home turf, but even crowds in the 6 can't resist the catchy Kendrick verse. During a concert in the Canadian province just this past Thursday, fans chanted along as Kendrick Lamar performed his viral Drake diss track, Not Like Us, part of what feels like a never-ending victory lap. Lamar's performance punctuated just how universal the song has become in Toronto, where maple syrup is a more common export than rap, and where Drake is an artistic icon. But as concert goers parroted back Lamar's versus calling Drake a colonizer and a pedophile. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Even in his home court advantage, it seemed to fade. The episode is another nail in the coffin of a slow motion rap battle, the likes of which the hip hop world has not seen in decades. The roots of Lamar and Drake's feud go way back more than a decade to 2013, though things quickly intensified in spring of last year. The two traded bars and barbs with shocking allegations. And so, look, Kendrick on that home turf, he said, look, where you want it? LA, Toronto, where you want it? Atlanta? Just saying. And the Canadian people were picking up what Kendrick Lamar was putting down. In other news, particularly Diddy news, NBC News is reporting that a juror has been dismissed over concerns about his candor. This is what we know right now. A juror was dismissed today over concerns about his candor after he allegedly gave conflicting answers about where he lives in either New York or across the Hudson River in New Jersey. The fate of another juror who might have spoken improperly about the case with a former colleague was left unresolved when the judge left the bench this afternoon. Diddy faces 5 criminal counts, 1 count of racketeering, conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs has vociferously denied the allegations against him. And Juneteenth, it's right around the corner. Juneteenth celebrations are having to adapt after corporate sponsors are pulling their support. Juneteenth celebrations have been scaled back this year due to the funding shortfalls as a lot of companies and municipalities across the country reconsider their support for diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. Canceled federal grants, businesses moving away from so-called brand activism have hit the bottom line of parades and other events heading into Thursday's federal holiday, which celebrates the end of slavery in the United States. The shrinking financial support, it coincides with many companies severing ties with LGBTQ celebrations for Pride this year, and President Trump's efforts to squash DEI programs throughout the federal government. Now, last I checked, celebrating the end of slavery was bigger than any DEI initiative, but maybe that's just me. But don't you worry, because we're gonna do what it do on Thursday with our KBLA Juneteenth celebration, and we're gonna turn our focus to the folks who show up no matter what. When we come forward, I'm really looking forward to sharing my conversation with Phil Rosenthal. He is the creator of the hit show Everybody Loves Raymond, and he's got another hit show entering season 8 on Netflix, premiering this Wednesday, that you're going to want to know about. You're listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. More with Phil Rosenthal when we come forward.
You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You ready?
Somebody make some noise in this joint.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates its 4th anniversary this year on Juneteenth.
Here we go again.
Hard to believe 4 years has gone by so fast. Oh my God. But here we are, still standing, still loving and serving our people as best we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them.
She got a lot to say.
Let's do this.
Let's get it on.
On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the 2nd consecutive year with our Climate Justice Plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, talk about.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There will be plenty of food, fun, great music, good good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is Resilience in the Face of Chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique DePrima, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
We love you. Love you.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereeth my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
We have no permanent friends or permanent enemies. Only permanent interests. As we effort to build a more perfect union.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Corte. I'm really delighted to welcome a television legend to the show, Phil Rosenthal. He returns for season 8 of Somebody Feed Phil. It premieres June 18th on Netflix. We'll be sure to be watching. Try not to have a hungry stomach. Welcome, Phil.
Doctor, how are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I don't get to speak to a lot of doctors unless there's something wrong with me. So I'm happy to talk to you.
Well, I'm a doctor of education, not a medical doctor, and so don't choke on anything over the course.
Okay, good.
Did you have a good Father's Day?
I did, but you know what? I'm here in New York doing all the publicity for season 8 of the show. My family's back in LA. So this is the first Father's Day I've had where I'm away from the kids.
A remote Father's Day.
Yes, but I know they love me because I certainly love them a lot.
That's good. That's good. Well, now we got you on the record.
Yes, that's right. I can always point to this to say, see?
That's right. And you can point to season 8 of your show, Somebody Feed Phil, which, as I mentioned, premieres on Netflix this week. How excited are you about season 8? Season 8?
It's the longest running unscripted show on Netflix. And I just feel so lucky and grateful. I feel like I'm the luckiest guy you're ever going to talk to. Every morning I wake up so grateful. First of all, that I woke up. Second of all, that I have a wife of 35 years and 2 fantastic grown kids who moved out of the house but stayed very close by. So I'm very lucky to have them in my life every day. And I have a dog that I love that I walk to the town square with every day and meet friends for coffee. And it's just, and then I get to do this show where I get to travel around the world and feel like a neighbor in that way too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
When you travel, you make the world your neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember years ago, I interned at an advertising agency when I was in college, Carol H. Williams
Yeah.
Advertising, and the founder met with us interns. She did a brown bag with us one afternoon, and one of the things that she said to me that stuck with me, is that whatever you do, make sure that you budget, time and resources to travel. Right,
That's it.
go on at least one trip every year because it will help you to expand your mind. It will help
That's
to
it.
challenge your assumptions.
Yeah.
It will help to make the unknown less scary.
That's 100% true. I would go even one step further. First of all, I think the world would be better if we all could experience a little bit of other people's experiences. That's number one. You go and you see how other people live, and you're nice in any way, even if you're a half decent person, you make the world a little better by putting that out there. But what you get back is so priceless. Travel literally changes your perspective on life.
Yeah.
I had my first trip, I was 23. I'd never been out of the country, never been anywhere. And I got a free flight to Europe as a courier for DHL. Yeah, it was legit. It wasn't drug smuggling. It was a legit courier flight. And they didn't pay anything. You just got the flight for free and coach on an airline.
Mhm.
They sent their cargo before they were huge. They sent their cargo as a passenger's excess baggage. So all you had to do was deliver the luggage tags to the DHL guy on the other end of the trip. And they went all over the world. So on Wednesday, let's say they're going to Zurich, you're going to Zurich, right? So you
Wow.
go. And from there, I hopped on a train and went to Paris. So 23, and I'm walking around Paris and I'm knocked out. And I don't have money, really. I'm having a baguette and some cheese in the park, but I'm like King Louis because it's so phenomenal. You can't believe how good that bread is and that cheese is and how gorgeous Paris is, right?
Yeah.
And I remember walking around and thinking, look, even the trees on the boulevard, look how beautiful they are. So I have this wonderful trip this week, and I come back to Washington Heights in Manhattan, where my little apartment is that I share with the guy. And for the first time, I walk down the street in Washington Heights, and I go, oh, hey, look, we have nice trees too. I never noticed them before. That I had something to compare it to somewhere else. Now I appreciate where I live. That's what travel does for you.
That's a great story. That's a great story that I certainly can relate to. I'm sure so many of our leaders, learners, and listeners can relate to. For folks who are less familiar, you've had quite a ride in your career.
Yes.
A lot of folks know you as a producer and writer for Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yes.
Which that little old show that had that little old run.
Do you know next year? Next year, the show will have been on in some form or another for 30 years.
Wow. I believe it.
We're celebrating in New York tonight the opening of a 3-month exhibit at the Paley Center for Media, museum here in New York on 52nd Street, 30 years of Raymond.
I mean, and the fact that you really hit the jackpot. I mean, you're one of the creators of Everybody Loves Raymond, right? And
I am the creator of the show. Yes.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. The creator of Everybody Loves Raymond, that's had this incredible run. And so for anybody in the business, working on a show like that, right? That happens like once in a lifetime.
Yes.
And now, you've gone on, to work on the Simpsons movie and so many other projects, and now 8 seasons, now going into season 8 of Somebody Feed Phil. I mean, would you have ever thought that 23-year-old that was carrying DHS packages to Paris, would you ever think that they would have the kind of life and longevity in this business?
No, you never think that anything is going to get on. very few things get on the air. So just to get on is a miracle. And then to last a little bit, like Raymond, we thought, after 2 or 3 weeks, we could get canceled like most shows. So to last that first year and then to get a second year, this is a big deal. And to have any success at all and then get, Emmys and things like this, it's all miracle after miracle. And to now have been on 30 years, miracle. Same with Somebody Feed Phil, which is now lightning has struck me twice. But it did take, after Raymond, it took 10 years to get this show. Even after that success, to get Somebody Feed Phil. Yes.
What?
Yes. Because look.
But you're Phil Rosenthal. I mean, you're the creator of a hit like Everybody Loves Raymond. It took you 10 years to get this Netflix show?
I was surprised too.
Wow.
I thought that's how life works. That's how the business works. Once you've made it, now that you can do something else. No, they didn't even want another sitcom like Raymond. The business changed in the 9 years that we were doing Raymond. So I wrote another sitcom. Nobody wanted it. I wrote another one. Nobody wanted it. I said, what's going on? My people said, the business has changed. They don't want this kind of family stuff. To do something you can do a family, but just make it hip and edgy. Just be more hip and edgy. That's what people want. I said, well, you got the right guy. I'm Mr. Hip and Edgy. And so
I'm sure they told you be more like Modern Family.
No, they didn't, because it was 5 years before Modern Family came along.
Oh, wow. This is even before Modern Family.
Exactly right. So Raymond, that just shows you how out of style that sitcom was by that time. They didn't want that. They wanted Friends. They wanted shows like Friends. That's really what they wanted, right? Friends is a great show. The shows that tried to imitate it, not as great. And I couldn't do it even if I wanted to. That's just not my sensibility. My sensibility is what you see. It's what you see on Raymond. It's what you see on Somebody Feed Phil. So after years of striking out, I thought, what about this dream idea I have? If I'm going to pursue something anyway, right? I'm not having any luck in this direction. Why not go in this direction? Well, it turns out they don't like when you switch directions. Even if they don't want the sitcom, they certainly don't want you on camera. They'd say, you've never been on camera before. I'm like, so? I sold the show with one line. This is the line. I'm exactly like Anthony Bourdain if he was afraid of everything.
Ooh. I'd buy it.
See, so PBS, they were the first people to buy it. That was called I'll Have What Phil's Having. I did 6 episodes on PBS. And you can see those original episodes, same show, basically, on YouTube. They're all for free on YouTube, those 6. And then here comes Netflix, and they picked up the show after we were canceled by PBS, by the way.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
What a story. What a story.
It's such a journey.
What a story, especially at a time where we see that the industry is changing. A lot of people say the industry is sort of convulsing, and trying to find its way. News out that CNN is sort of spinning off their streaming unit and their cable unit. We know the same is true with MSNBC. They'll be spinning off from NBC News. And so, lots of changes in the industry. But what I love so much about your story, for all of our leaders, learners, and listeners out there that are tapping in, it's a reminder that even when you have achieved sort of the pinnacle of success in the industry, and you certainly did that as the creator of Everybody Loves Raymond, right? You still had to find your way. You still had to find another lane. You still had to challenge yourself to show up in the industry differently in order to be relevant and offer something that the buyers were interested in buying. So talk to us about, your message, to folks out there right now that are feeling discouraged, that aren't seeing the work like they used to. People who might even be feeling like, did my body of work, did my life's work, did it mean anything at all?
This is a tough time in the world. We know that, right? Not to mention the fact that AI is going to take jobs and has already taken jobs. But here's what I truly believe, and I'm living proof of this. Like I said, it took 10 years, right, to get this dream. If you make something a priority in your life, and it's a true priority, you will not stop until you achieve it. That's just a fact. If you try for years and then you go in another direction, there's nothing wrong with that. But it certainly means that I guess it wasn't a priority, or you would still be going after it. Nothing wrong with changing priorities. Nothing wrong with people who give up their dream to do something else. That's more of a priority, like feed your family. That's a priority, right? My joke is that I never really cared for my family, so I made this my priority. No, they were equal. But listen, I had something, I got very lucky. So I had this cushion of the success of Raymond so that I could pursue this other dream of a job for 10 years. Yes, and that made it easier, but it was still difficult, getting turned down everywhere. Went to every cable station, every network. Nobody wanted it. This is still, even though Somebody Feed Phil is the longest running unscripted show in Netflix's history, okay? It was still a very tough sell. And we, from year to year, we have no idea if we're going to get picked up or not.
Mm-hmm.
If viewership goes down enough, they don't want you anymore. They don't even want you if you are successful. They want new things all the time. When you turn on Netflix and you look at your screen, there's all these new things at the bottom. Yeah, they figured that out. They get more new subscribers by having all kinds of new shows every day.
Mm-hmm.
There's 15 shows premiering this week on Netflix. I'm just one of them.
Mm-hmm.
My new season. There's at least 3 new shows that day, including the Dallas Cheerleaders, the same day. How can this face compete with Dallas Cheerleaders?
Talk about living on a prayer.
I'll say. This is what we call alternative programming.
Wow. Well, we're definitely going to be watching. When we come forward, Phil, I want to talk to you about what we can expect in these seasons of Somebody Feed Phil. It premieres this Wednesday, June 18th on Netflix. And, just listening to that log line, this that one line that has led to now 8 seasons of the show.
Yes.
Now you got my attention. I'm definitely going to be watching. I'm sure a lot of folks that are listening will also be watching. But we want to know what we can expect this season. And so more with Phil Rosenthal of Somebody Feed Phil on Netflix. You're listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
The audience is listening.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA.
This is where authentic voices meet powerful discussions on culture, community, and change. This is where Black voices matter. He's breaking boundaries, amplifying diverse perspectives, and tackling the issues that matter most to you. You're inside A More Perfect Union with Dr. Nii-Quartelai on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. A curfew is in effect in downtown Los Angeles after police used tear gas and pepper spray to break up anti-ICE protests.
The people that I have seen on the street now are basically young people who are, were part of the protests, were clearly not part of the violence.
Black Mayor Karen Bass says the curfew will stay in place indefinitely. The jury has been dismissed early for the day in Sean Diddy Combs' sex crimes trial after a black juror was removed over conflicting residency answers and replaced with a white alternate. The defense objected, citing diversity concerns. And Juneteenth is not being overshadowed by politics in Atlanta, where hundreds joined the city's 13th annual celebration on Saturday. The parade ran from the King Center to Piedmont Park, with some anti-Trump protesters joining in later. The holiday marks the end of slavery in the U.S. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Hawthorne 105 eastbound, slowing from the 405 and stretches to Lakewood Boulevard, Santa Monica. 10 eastbound, backing up from Cloverfield all the way to San Pedro Street in downtown Los Angeles. All roads leading into Dodger Stadium sure are going to be busy for the game tonight. First pitch, 7:10. Delays right now, 5 southbound out of Burbank, loading up from Olive. You're on the brakes ahead all the way to the 110 freeway.
Every day, a child in poverty waits for a sponsor is another day of hopelessness. There are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Just text the word radio to 83393.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Although TV ratings for the NBA Finals are down 20% from last year, the pregame and postgame shows on ABC helped the NBA reach an impressive number after the first 2 games. With the pregame and postgame shows, ABC attracted a total of 25.6 million viewers for games 1 and 2 between the Oklahoma City Thunder and Indiana Pacers. The encouraging sign for ABC and the NBA is that people are tuning in before the games and staying around for the postgame coverage. The NBA is anxious to see what the combined ratings are after Game 5 tonight. OKC and Indiana are tied at 2-2. The Angels pitching staff has a tough assignment the next 4 days against the Yankees in New York. Yankees center fielder Aaron Judge leads the American League with a .378 batting average, 26 homers, and 99 hits. Judge is second in the AL with 60 RBIs. Good luck. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, y'all, come on. Pick up the drums.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey.
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it. Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power. Fight the power.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Pasadena City College is proud to support Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr. For over 100 years, PCC has been a pillar of the community, and we're here for you as we work together to recover from the Eaton fire and rebuild Altadena's future. At PCC, we offer diverse career education programs that prepare you for in-demand jobs, fueling both today's recovery and tomorrow's growth. Whether you're starting a new career or advancing your skills, PCC gives you tools to build your future and your community. Pasadena City College, here for the Dena, here for you. Learn more at pccfordena.com.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Hit me!
National news of consequence, informed opinion, and analysis beyond the headlines. You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
Who only go, they go on the cruise ship, they get off, they get a selfie at the famous thing, they buy a souvenir that was probably made in China, they get back on the cruise ship, and they eat on the cruise ship. They don't even try the food at the place. Why? Because they paid for a cruise and the food's included, so they're not going to, right? So I call it hit and run tourism, where they go in, they crowd the place, get their selfies, go back on the boat. So the place never benefits from the tourism dollars, and the place is kind of ruined by it. So what I'm trying to preach is be the curious tourist, be the guy who goes to the place and explores. One of the easiest, best, and most fun ways to explore is through the food in the place. You're literally taking in the culture. And I say, if you can open a mouth, you can open a mind. And so now, maybe you talk to the guy who made this thing, or you talk to somebody next to you who lives there. Very easy to do. You're there anyway. You're walking around. You have your day. Tell me something. Tell me about you. Once you learn about the person, you want to learn about the culture. Once you learn about the culture, you'll learn about the whole place. Now you're not just a citizen of your apartment building on your block, in your city, in your state, in your country. You're a citizen of the world.
That's right.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
And
We're all neighbors.
We're all neighbors. We're all neighbors. And it also creates a tremendous sense of empathy, which I think we need a lot more of in the world.
Yes, sir.
How often have you traveled? I know I've had this experience. How often have you traveled and you're talking to somebody local, right, who may not be all that confident about their English, or maybe you're not all that confident about, you know, the language that they speak, right? And just that exchange, just attempting the attempt, you know, of trying to string together a few words in their language, and then trying to string together a few words in English. In our case, that goes a long way in terms of just sort of building folks' confidence and building connection.
100%. The most important word to learn is thank you. Even more than hello. Thank you, I find, can be used to mean a lot of things, including excuse me. You know,
I believe it. I believe it.
To me, it's very deep, that phrase. Thank you. First of all, it suggests your own personality, that you're grateful as a baseline, right? I meet you, I say thank you. You're already happy to meet the person. You're thanking them for just the interaction. You walk into a store. Thank you. Thank you for letting me come in your store. They're already on your side.
Mhm.
So say thank you. If you don't learn anything else, thank you.
There you have it. There you have it. Lead with gratitude. Lead with
Yes.
gratitude. And speaking of gratitude, I'm sure a lot of your loyal viewers are going to be grateful to see that you're traveling this season to Amsterdam, to Sydney, to Manila, to Guatemala. Is that right?
You got it.
And so, did you have a favorite city that you visited? I know you don't want to pick favorites.
No, listen, I love everywhere we go. I really do. And I get to see it in the best possible way, by getting to meet the greatest food and meeting the greatest people. I'm so lucky and so grateful. If I was to pick the best food destination, it would be San Sebastian in the Basque country of Spain.
Really?
Some of the best food I've ever had. It's a culinary capital of the world. It's one of the great food cities in the world. It has more Michelin stars, for example, per capita than anywhere on earth. That doesn't mean it's all fancy. You go, like my favorite thing to do is to go in the old part of the city, little cobblestone streets, beautiful 500-year-old buildings, and there's bars everywhere. So if you and I were taking a stroll, we'd hit these bars, and every bar is famous for making their specialty little snacks called pinchos or tapas, right? Little snacks that are savory and some of them have the most delicious seafood on them or meat or just, I can't tell you how great this is. So we would have a drink and have 2 or 3 of these things and then go next door or across the little street. There's another bar with their own specialties. You do this all day or all night. And then at 10 o'clock at night, dinner. And you can't believe how great that way of life is. It's so social, right? Because you're in the bar with all these other people who are so happy to have this tremendous food. And it's not fancy in any way. It's just, but some of the most sophisticated, delicious, some sophisticatedly simple things, just from the freshness of the ingredients and the slight preparation that they do. You're like, I think I could live here.
I mean, you're over here. You selling it. I'm surprised you're not on the travel and tourism board for Spain after sharing that story.
I can talk this way about every single place we go.
Yeah.
There's something so exciting about every place on earth. There really is.
Was there a sleeper city that you visited where you thought, okay, this will be nice, but you went there, you're like, oh my gosh, I was mind blown.
Antigua in Guatemala. There's an Antigua in the Caribbean, but there's an Antigua, Guatemala, which is, I don't know, 800 years old. It's been destroyed like 7 times by earthquakes. But the buildings, they rebuilt, but they're still there. It's this old city. And the food is phenomenal and it's gorgeous. And there's a volcano right there that's still smoking all the time. And the food, the people, the culture, the beauty of the city, I can't recommend it enough. That I had no expectation. I didn't know what to expect. And then I was blown away. And that's only 4 hours from LA, where I live.
Well, speaking of LA, you are also opening a nostalgic diner in LA called Max and Helen's. It's in honor of your late parents, who were beloved regulars on the show.
Yes.
When does it open, and what can we expect on the menu?
We expect to open at the end of July. We never know, with the city and the permits and all that stuff. It's already taken a very long time because of that. But I'm so excited because one of my favorite places in the world to eat is a great diner. And it's just going to be this comfort food that we know from when we're kids, just elevated by using great ingredients and having an executive chef who knows how to handle them. And the chef I got is Nancy Silverton, who's one of America's best chefs. She was on Chef's Table if you want to see more about her. But she's a dear friend of mine for the last 25 years, and she lives in the neighborhood as well. This is going to be our neighborhood diner.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. That's so
Yes.
cool. And
It's a place I want to selfishly eat at every day.
and I'm sure there are going to be some things on the menu that were pretty special to your mom and dad, no?
There'll be Helen's matzo ball soup, which is her specialty. And my dad's favorite thing in life were very soft scrambled eggs. And he would call them fluffy eggs. Are my eggs fluffy? And I have to tell you something. On his tombstone, it says, "Are my eggs fluffy?" And on her tombstone next to him, it says, her answer to him, "I'm listening to the opera," which was her joy in life. And the lesson that they both gave me was that if you can find these simple joys, his fluffy eggs, her listening to the opera on the radio, if you can find this simple joy in life every day, maybe you'll be happy every day.
Wow, that is beautiful. What a beautiful nugget to leave us with. The series continues to earn critical acclaim, including a Critics' Choice Real TV Award and a James Beard nomination, solidifying its status as a beloved travel food show. We will be watching. Be sure to tune in to Somebody Feed Phil, Season 8 on Netflix, premiering on Wednesday, June 18th. Thank you, Phil Rosenthal.
Thank you, my friend. I'm going to bring my live show to DC, and I hope to meet you.
Absolutely.
Probably around November.
I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. And then this summer, after you open, I'm going to come visit the diner.
Come on.
I'll be there.
All right.
You've been listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 15.
Striving to make America a nation as good as its promise. This is A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
During this time, it's important for everyone to know your rights. The 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments in the U.S. Constitution protects every one of us, regardless of immigration status. The 4th Amendment requires a judicial warrant to search your home. The 5th protects your right to remain silent, and the 6th gives you the right to an attorney. Just remember,
No warrant, no key, my privacy. You don't have to speak. No lawyer inside. Don't say a thing. Yeah, we all got rights. Hey, we all got rights.
Nearly 7 million Americans aged 65 and older are living with Alzheimer's disease, also known as AD, a type of dementia that affects memory, thinking, and behavior, making everyday tasks challenging. But did you know that Black adults aged 65 and older are twice as likely as white adults to develop AD? There are things you can do to help reduce your risk for developing AD. Managing conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure is crucial. Staying physically active, maintaining social connections, eating a healthy diet, and keeping your mind engaged with activities like reading or puzzles can all contribute to brain health. It's also important to recognize some common signs and symptoms of early AD, such as forgetfulness that causes problems with everyday life, asking the same question a few times in a row, and difficulty concentrating on basic tasks. If you see these signs in yourself or a loved one, don't wait. Early diagnosis and intervention are key to managing AD effectively. To learn more about AD and a potential treatment option, visit treatallzearly.com. That's treatallzearly.com. This message is brought to you by AZI.
Notable journalists, industry leaders, lawmakers, change makers, tastemakers, and you, working to build a more perfect union on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai and just while we've been on air, USA Today is reporting that President Trump is urging everyone in Tehran to evacuate, quotes, before it's too late. President Trump is urging everyone to immediately evacuate in Tehran and reiterated that Iran should have signed a nuclear deal with the United States. Saying, quote, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I have said it over and over again. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. That's what he said in a post on Truth Social. He added that, quote, Iran must make a deal before there is nothing left and save what was once known as the Iranian Empire. No more death, no more destruction. Just do it before it's too late. Trump's dire words, as reported by USA Today, comes as Israeli forces stepped up their bombardment of Iranian cities, while Iran proved capable of piercing Israeli air defenses with one of the most successful volleys yet. And so basically, things are ratcheting up in the Middle East and the conflict between Iran and Israel, so much that President Trump left the G7 summit in Canada early to head back here to Washington. And so we'll continue to keep you updated. We know that there are listeners here that may have family and friends that have family and friends that are in Iran. And so we will continue to keep our eye on this. In other news, this has really been on my mind this weekend. I had to share it with you. I don't know how many of y'all are alumni of Modern Day High School. I remember playing them in football when I was in high school. But when I saw this, I said, I've got to share this with the leaders, learners, and listeners. On social media, I was minding my business and I saw a post that read, quotes, Dear Modern Day Community, on Tuesday, June 10th, with our permission, the Santa Ana Police Department and local law enforcement used our campus as a staging site for some of their drone operations. Our partnership with SAPD reflects our ongoing support for the city of Santa Ana and its efforts to maintain public safety. Thank you for your understanding and support. Sincerely, Michael Brennan. This is the president of Modern Day High School. Well, a lot of alumni were not too happy about this. In fact, one alumni posted, as an alumni of Modern Day Monarchs, I'm embarrassed, I'm disappointed, and enraged that the high school would agree to partner with the police department in my city to be a training ground for militarized operations. This action does not reflect the values Modern Day purports to uphold. This is not what Jesus would do. And we as alumni cannot remain silent as we witness Black and brown students made vulnerable by increased police presence on campus. We urge all alumni to sign this letter by Sunday evening and share it with your former classmates. It's the link is in the bio, but can be accessed as well at tinyurl.com/Modern Day Alumni. This post went up by the person at Latinx Parenting. They posted this, over 8,000 likes on Instagram. I caught a look at it in my feed, and it brings me to this point, that every day we end the show saying, do what you can from where you are with what you have. And sometimes we forget that as alumni of these high schools and colleges and universities and programs, that we also have a voice in influencing how these organizations move, how these institutions move. And so today's probably a good day for you to Google what your high school, what your college, what your university has been doing to respond to this moment. And it's on all of us to make sure that that is in alignment with our values or the values that we glean from being a part of that organization or that institution. And if you find that their actions are out of alignment, then you also have an opportunity to reach out to them, and to register your disapproval, your displeasure. There are other ways to do that, but that's always a good start. And so hat tip to all the folks, all the active alumni and the reactivated alumni that are reaching out to your schools to figure out how they're moving in this moment. And if they're out of alignment, registering your disapproval and being a part of that solution. We'll have to leave it there. My thanks to the entire village that helps us produce a more perfect union each and every day. Our executive producer, Tavis Smiley, our sound engineer, Andy, our show producers, Faraji and Art, and of course, each and every one of you, our leaders, learners, and listeners. We thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you same place right here tomorrow. You've been listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.